An absolutely mental, heart-stopping, pulsating match has just ended in the FIH Pro League clash between India and Australia at the Tasmania Hockey Centre today. At the end of the day, India's winless run in the FIH Pro League continues because unfortunately what has happened in the game that we have witnessed today between India and Australia at Tasmania, the India men's hockey team have unfortunately lost 5-4 in the penalty shootout that took place. It was a match that was wild with controversies also, some moments which are very controversial in more ways than one when you look at this hockey match. But let us begin with the way how the India men's hockey team played today. It is far better than the encounters that they had in the previous 5 matches, in which their defense was absolutely all over the place. They just couldn't ensure that they withstood the pressure from the opponents. But against the mighty Kookaburras, they managed to hold themselves to a very, very good situation. Now, look at the way how India started. First, it was Amit Rohidas who ensured that India got off the mark in grand style. He managed a superb goal, and because of that, through a penalty corner, Amit Rohidas got India on the board. It was then doubled up by Jugraj Singh. Jugraj Singh, remember, he has been in good form amongst all of the lot in the FIH Pro League in these last 5 games. So he doubled India's advantage heading into the halfway mark. But then the Kookaburras continued to build pressure upon pressure upon pressure. Initially, Australia seemed to have pulled one back, but Campbell Geddes, who had scored the goal, there was a video referral by the Indian hockey team which ensured that, okay, there was an obstruction that was done by Campbell Geddes, and that's why his goal was disallowed and India managed a 2-goal advantage at this stage. But then in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, for a period of 14 minutes, there were 13 penalty corners. And amongst that, 2 were converted by Joel Rintala. Joel Rintala, remember, is one of the upcoming hockey stars who's in Australia, and he managed to ensure that amongst those 13 penalty corners, one from a 46-minute period until 47, and then from the 58 to the 59-minute, he managed, and even from the 56th minute, throughout that entire period, you had 13 penalty corners, 15 overall, but Australia managed to convert 2 of them. And once again, India could not sustain the pressure, and that is why it ended 2-2. Joel Rintala scoring both the penalty corner goals, and that is why it is a missed opportunity for India. But then there was more controversy in the penalty shootout. What happened is that first 3 goals, it was all spot on. Then when Australia were 4-3, Vishnu Kant then tried to ensure that he got the goal in, but then when the goalkeeper managed to sweep the ball away, his stick went away. Then the penalty stroke was awarded. But then at that point, the goalkeeper then appealed, saying that no, this was done in the heat of the moment and you cannot award a penalty stroke. But then the referral went against Australia, and because of that, Jugraj Singh planted the goal, and that was why 5-4. It was 4-4. Then you had Tom Welsh, who managed to ensure that, okay, he got 5. But then Arjun Lalage unfortunately missed on that one opportunity. And in the ultimate penalty shootout that we have witnessed, India have managed to lose 4-5 to the Aussies in this penalty shootout. And this continues their winless run in the FIH Pro League. Now, this will be heartbreak. This will be a real heartbreak because you were up 2 goals. From the third quarter onwards, it was in the final quarter in which you conceded so many penalty corners. Your defense had managed to ensure that, okay, Australia had managed to struggle for circle penetrations, and your defense was absolutely spot on. Power to power, it was matched by the Indian players and the Australian players. But unfortunately, pressure situations, when there were continuous penalty corners, they broke under that, and the defense broke, and 2-2 was the scoreline by which Australia managed to ensure that they tied the game, took it to the penalty corners, and because of that, 5-4 is the result by which India have lost their 6th straight game. Now, you would remember that in one more edition, the previous edition, after India had lost 4-6 at Rourkela, the other game went to penalties. But it was a dominant display from Australia, who managed to win it 3-0. Here, they really got out of jail in this particular match, Australia. They were far behind. They had rested certain key players as well. For example, they were on the bench. Nathan Ephraimos was on the bench. Tom Craig was on the bench. But then they were substitutes who could come in later on. But then Australia didn't field their entire power pack 11 that had gotten them over the line against Spain. So that is why Jack Welch, you also had all the others who could ensure that they would get in. But Joel Rintala is your man. And that is why Australia will have to thank him for ensuring that they remain undefeated in the Pro League with 6 out of 6. But India now have unfortunately lost the 6th game. So yes, devastating heartbreak for the India men's hockey team because they have managed to lose 5-4 on the penalty shootout. And it continues their poor run. Now they have lost 6 straight games. They had lost 4 in Rourkela to Belgium and Argentina. Now they lost their first games against Spain and Australia. So will they bounce back on this tour? Because remember, after this, you will head to the European leg in June where you're taking on Netherlands, Germany, England, Pakistan. So this is the way we are looking at it. So not such good news if you're an Indian hockey fan. Penalty shootout, losing 5-4 when you could have managed to take it to sudden death and anything could have happened. But no, it's 5-4. Australia have managed to win against India in the FIH Pro League in a heart-stopping, pulsating encounter. It's a missed opportunity for India yet again. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.